More worrying news on the coronavirus today, with 2 more Australians diagnosed with the disease. They've tested positive on that cruise ship stranded in Japan, where 10 people have tested positive, and there are more than 200 Australians on board with a total of more than 1,000 passengers. Those with the virus have been taken ashore to hospital. Back in Australia, the focus has been on more than 200 people who were flown from Wuhan, the epicentre of the virus, and taken into quarantine at the Christmas Island Immigration Processing Centre. Now, I've said before, these people could not wish for better help from their government. Their golden ticket of Australian citizenship has delivered them back to Australian soil and the best medical care available. But the ABC in particular has been highlighting gripes and whinges about the conditions, complaints of the odd cockroach on Christmas Island or slow internet speeds, would you believe? Now, as our own Matt Cunningham has pointed out, he reckons most of the people there are very happy and grateful. I mean, fancy the ABC highlighting the whinges of a noisy few. There's nothing they won't do, it seems, to demonise anything to do with border protection and a coalition government. Just by way of actual comparison here, is a point I wanted to make. A mate of mine sent me some pictures of the accommodation provided for volunteer bushfire fighters over the past couple of months at places like Kangaroo Island and the north of New South Wales. This is where the firefighters stayed instead of being at home in their own beds, volunteering their own time. They did it for free, of course, and guess what? There were no complaints about the accommodation. And while we're on this, have a look at some of this video footage from China. There's a lot of very disturbing footage of crowded hospitals, bodies being removed, people being forced out of their homes by teams in antivirus suits. We have to be very careful with this stuff on social media, of course, because we cannot verify all of it. But there is every indication that the situation in China could be a lot worse than we are being told officially. Again, we need to be calm and rational. But the offer for Australians and others to get out of China at the moment is not an opportunity that ought to be easily dismissed.